So, about Hypatia. So, about her early life, growing up in 4th century Alexandria meant living in the intellectual capital of the Mediterranean, and Hypatia had a front row seat to all of it. Born around 335 CE, her childhood was entirely shaped by her father, Theon, who was a celebrated mathematician and astronomer. Theon held a prestigious position at the museum, the ancient institution that housed what remained of the city's legendary library traditions. Theon didn't just want to raise a daughter. He wanted to raise a perfect human. Being a brilliant scholar, which was a radical ambition for a girl in the Roman Empire, he designed a rigorous custom education for her that went far beyond what any standard school could offer. Now, as Hypatia entered her 20s, she transitioned from her father's student to his intellectual equal and collaborator. The two formed a formidable academic partnership, and they spent hours analyzing, editing, and rewriting ancient texts to make them accessible to contemporary students. While Theon was a brilliant academic, historical records suggest that Hypatia quickly outshone him. Her mind was sharper, her writing was clearer, and her ability to apply abstract math to philosophical
Socrates comes to rage bait you
questions was entirely unique. By the time she was a young woman, she had established her own reputation, moving out of her father's shadow to become a beloved teacher in her own right. Now then, we are going to get into Hypatia's midlife, and we're going to get into quite a bit of detail on this one, so bear with me here. By her 30s, Hypatia had become the absolute center of Alexandria's intellectual universe. She was no longer just a brilliant daughter of a famous academic. She was the undisputed leader of this city's Neoplatonist school. As a beautiful, wildly successful, and wealthy woman, Hypatia was one of the most eligible bachelorettes in Egypt. Yet, she chose to remain a virgin her entire life and pure, famously telling suitors that she was married to the truth. To her, celibacy wasn't about religious guilt. It was a practical, philosophical choice, and in Neoplatonism, the goal was to detach your mind from physical desires so you could fully focus on higher abstract realities. There is a famous, rather blunt historical anecdote about a student who confessed his deep love for her, and to shock him out of his infatuation, she allegedly handed him her stained menstrual rags, asking if he was really in love with that or with just a higher degree of soul. And it worked. He was mortified and went back to studying math and not being a bad boy. What makes her midlife truly remarkable is how she navigated a city that was rapidly tearing itself apart over religion and politics, like the world today. Who said that? Anyway, while riots frequently flared up in the streets, Hypatia's classroom remained a sanctuary of absolute calm and logic. Her students included pagans, Jews, and high-ranking Christians. They all sat together, unified by her teachings, which showed that she had a very diverse classroom. Now then, a short summary for Hypatia's later years. As she entered her later years, the shifting religious landscape of Alexandria caused severe friction between the Christian bishop Cyril, and the perfect Orestes. Because of her close friendship with Orestes, she was caught in the crossfire of political and religious struggle. And in 415 AD, this tension accumulated in her tragic murder by a fanatical Christian mob. And yeah. Now then, about her legacy. Hypatia's legacy is defined by her role as a guardian of ancient knowledge and her transformation into a universal symbol of intellectual freedom, science, and women's empowerment. Because none of her original writings survived, her impact is measured by how she preserved classical mathematics and how future generations reinterpreted her life. Yep. That's Hypatia's story, and make sure to like and subscribe and click the bell for daily notifications.